Good afternoon, everybody. This is Paul Gilgee. Happy to have you on the call. We're going to be discussing first this afternoon the recent tour that 15 of us took to Norway and the great time we had. And then after that, we'll have a session with the plans for the Roulette reunion next summer. And to get us started on the trip discussion, on your screens, if you see is a description of the major highlights of the 10 days that we were there. Hi, Christina. Welcome aboard. You can see that we started on September 7th in Oslo and had two major events that day. First, visiting with the Orset family, and then having our welcome dinner at the hotel. Then the next day, Monday, September 8th, we went to the major sites in Oslo, including the Vigeland Sculpture Park and the Norwegian Folk Museum with the Gullstav Church. Then we moved on Tuesday, the September 9th, to Hedal and the Rupjan Industrial Museum. And then we had dinner that night in the hotel connected with the power station museum. Then on Wednesday, the September 10th, we were in Setesdal. We went to the Telemark Museum, and then that night we visited with Leonard Janssen, retired director of the Setesdal Museum, at the Solgard Hotel. Then Thursday, the 11th of September, was a big day at Birkedal and Gilje, where we were on the mountain enjoying traditional Norwegian meal and visiting with a couple of museums, and then enjoyed that evening a marvelous experience at the Birkedal Stunet, where Björn Holland had his concert. Friday, September 12th, we stopped by the Gilje Window Factory on our way to Stavanger. In downtown Stavanger, we met Georg Tumir, the retired pastor of the Stavanger Cathedral, and they showed us, had a marvelous experience there. Then Saturday, September 13th, a couple of people went to the Pulpit Rock, the Prekestolen, and the others went for a boat ride on the Lysefjord. Sunday, September 14th, we went north to Sand and to Suldal and had a marvelous time visiting with people there. Monday, the 15th, we went to Myrdal, and then that night later that day we took the very wonderful cruise on the fjords, and then we're overnight in Voss. Then Tuesday the 15th, we moved on to Bergen, had a tour of downtown Bergen, overnight at the hotel, and that was the tour. So that's the quick explanation of what we did. And several of us here today, I think, have got photos or comments to make. So we'll just let's start and see if you want to have who'd like to talk about maybe the Sunday, September 7th, the start of the tour.
Well, I think we've got our slides. We're just gonna, rather than trying to sequence them, just have people show slides because it's a lot of work to collate them. But I've got some. Joe's got some. Carly, you have some?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
You were overly optimistic about my my abilities.
Oh, well, it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, you want to start with yours?
Yeah, let me go. I'll see if I can get this screen shared here. Oh,
I'll stop sharing.
Only one per, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Come on, computer. Let's see. Nope. All right, there we go. All right, let's see if I can get this done. Here we are. Come on. There we go. Ooh. Can you guys see that?
Just about,
Yep.
it's coming up.
Yep,
There it
Norway
is.
pictures.
All right, let's see if this works here. They're not really in any kind of order. I just quickly put this together. So let's see, what do we got? Come on, computer. Well, let's hold on. There we go. Okay, so quick, I should have maximized them, but that's fine. What this is on that fjord tour that we did, I can't remember where it was going from and to, but we passed by this mountain that was almost pure white. And what you're seeing here, this is what we call talus. It's the breakdown of the rock as it goes down to the bottom. And so this is the mountain that we passed by. And at the end of it, we actually saw a quarry, which was this mountain is made up of mostly what's called plagioclase feldspar, which is the majority of the use would be for making porcelain. That's what the white plagioclase feldspar is used for. And there you can see this is what we passed by. All right, then we went to the
Brickstall.
Brickstall Glacier, Carolyn, I, and Josh. And this is an image of the glacier up on top and the water that is from the melting of the glacier. So yeah, I wish these pictures made them bigger. Then we also took a trip down to the Hadeland Glassworks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they make a lead crystal. Actually, we should have had some pieces here, but I've been collecting that for Carolyn since it's a pretty famous Norwegian glassworks. They've been in operation, I think, since the 1700s, is my understanding. Some really, really nice glass stuff that they do. Oh, and by the way, well, okay. We'll talk about that later. All right, so, and you tell them about this one.
I'm not sure I'm not sure whose farm this was that we went to visit. Paul, can you help us out with this?
What was the question?
Whose place did we go
Yeah,
Yeah,
visit?
this is in.
Ortwin. This is Ortwin.
Ogden Vian.
Okay, so yeah, this is the house that we visited, and I think he was talking in this image about the butter churn that you can see him demonstrating there.
So, all right, and then,
That was Stavanger.
and this is in Stavanger.
Gamlen Stavanger.
Yeah, and that was that was Joyce and Max walking up the street there. Then this is the church in Stavanger that we went to visit. Really interesting, I thought, about how that some of the pillars in the church were not completed. That I thought that was really interesting. You know, the carvings weren't done on the pillars. Some of them were unfinished. This is when Carolyn and I went and we went up walking up Preikestolen, which I'll never do that again.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
Joe,
well,
Did you get down on your hands and knees, Joe? And peer over the edge?
almost. But no, we didn't get close to the edge at all.
You showed the big crack.
Yeah, there was I'm just kind of curious how it's still standing there. That crack was like a foot wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was
Give it 10,000 years.
yeah, right. This was at that place where we stopped for they had the
Salmon run.
the salmon ladder up there,
Mhm.
you know. Oh, and so another place that we went to on our own was it's called Fossheim Stein Center. It's this older gentleman here. I can't remember his name, but he runs the place. He was supposed to take us to go find some thulite, but that didn't happen here. Well, we just visited the museum he's got set up. I mean, he's got tons and tons of rocks in there and all kinds of stuff from all over the world.
3 or 4 levels.
Yeah, there's like 3-story building here. So, oh, and of course, rock collecting. There's a place called Protoplasm, I believe, is the name of it, over by Suldal, I think, or Sildal. I can't remember, but there's a town close by on the west coast. There's a olivine quarry that they mine olivine at. And associated with the olivine are some eclogites. And so what they do is at the mine is they take the waste rock and they bring it to this spot here and dump it out for anybody to collect. So I have some, we picked up small pieces of the gemstone peridot, which is a beautiful green mineral it's a gem that's it's olivine, made up of olivine. Then there's eclogites, are the rocks, really high, really beautiful, high pressure, high temperature metamorphic rocks here. So it's just a fun place to go. This here down by Larvik, there's I think it's the Norwegian state rock is called Larviket, down by Larvik.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they mine it down there. Basically, it's, if anybody has seen a beautiful iridescent blue countertops and they make it out of building material, it's called labradorite. And this is basically labradorite, but since it's found near Larvik, the Norwegians like to call it Larviket. And what's fascinating is you're seeing this quarry here. The fellow who gave us the tour, his name was Jan Trollerud. He told us that this quarry has 90% waste. So only 10% of the rock they quarry here is actually usable as ornamental rock. Let's see.
Joe, is this labradorite the stuff that's got the flecks of blue in it?
Yes, yes.
So is there any connection between finding it in Norway and finding it in Labrador?
In Labrador, Newfoundland. I don't think so.
No, they're the same because those two areas were once connected. They split probably 120 million years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I haven't looked into the geology of it as far as that goes. Yeah, it's possible that it is. And
I saw the labradorite quarry many years ago when we were in Labrador. So,
oh, okay.
So it looks very similar to what you're seeing here.
Yeah, it's the rock name. I mean, labradorite. The rock is actually a monzonite, is what it is. When you get into the classification of coarse-grained igneous rocks, it falls under what's called monzonite. So, and this, what's that?
Did you want to say anything about that? That one?
Well, these blocks here, they don't finish the rock themselves. They send out these big, large cubes of rock to the end user who actually cuts it and polishes it. They don't do any polishing of the rock or cutting of the rock other than these large cubes there. And the guy that gave us the tour, this is Jan Trollerud. What was funny was, as we're driving, he drove us around, and as we're driving around, you can see that they use the waste rock here in ground up in smaller pieces as gravel for roads out there, out by Larvik. And he said the rock just sparkles at night. The roads, I'm sorry, just sparkles at night. So it's really fascinating. He gave us a good tour. These are artifacts from the Viking era. And what was interesting was they have inscriptions on them. Jan took us around, and he actually drove us to this spot here to see it. And what he explained was that these, I don't want to call them an obelisk, but they could be kind of thought of in that way. It used to be that it was illegal for the farmers to remove these, and because they were all over the countryside. And so it turned out that if the farmers basically had to turn in whether they had some on their land, and so they wouldn't tell the authorities that they did, because it cost them quite a bit of money if they got found out that they removed them. So anyway, he was just saying that that the farmers they actually changed the law so that there was no penalty for reporting them and getting them taken off the land. So, but that was interesting. I enjoyed that. We were there for the changing of the guard at the palace. So that's what we did too. Here's Knut Moen's, his mom and dad lived out here. This was their home that we visited. And there's Carolyn Joyce and their cousin Karen, who were Knut's granddaughters.
Good picture.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. But that was just fascinating to go see that. Can't remember where this one
This
was
was
at.
the first night, the Sunday night welcome.
Oh,
dinner.
the Sunday night welcome dinner. That's what this was. And this
And
is
this one.
another one. Yeah. So that's what this was. That dam we drove by. I don't remember where that was at, but oh, and then the train to go down the farm. And that's it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
All right, where is my?
Okay, I've got some that complement Joe's. I took out ones that duplicate, but okay, let me share. All right. You can all can see the screen with the map.
Great work, Jeff.
Do you see the screen with the map?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. This just a Google Maps direction, just to remind everybody where we went. And Christina, you haven't seen this before, I don't think, but we started in Oslo and went through Telemark and wound through the southwest into Gillian and Stavanger, and then made our way up to Voss and on the fjord, and then to Bergen, and then flew out. So it's a great trip. So I've got a few slides, and I don't know why my cursor doesn't work. This is weird. Let me stop sharing a second and try and fix it. Huh.
I'm trying.
All right, I gotta reload thing here.
I don't know, write it down.
Oh,
Got it?
fantastic. That's great. Thank you.
Ah, God, come.
Yeah. Better come. You come here. Stop. Okay.
Okay, this may work, but let me try sharing again. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. Okay,
Oh, there we are.
yep. So here's the group in Vigeland. These slides are a little bit out of order, but so 15 of us. It was good.
And we can enlarge that on our screens. That's nice.
Yeah, these are I don't know if people have access. I had trouble with the typical Microsoft trouble, but people should have access to the file folders, and you can pull down any of these slides or Joe's slides that you want. This one actually came from Arna, our tour guide. But anyway, this is the fort in Oslo, the original fort.
Oscarhus.
Yeah, that is dates from the 15th or 16th century, something like that. It's old. Here's again, these aren't in great order, but here's the palace.
Parliament.
Yep. No, the
king,
palace, the
King's
king,
house.
or the king's residence,
Okay.
the boss.
the boss. I'm reading that book. I can't remember who recommended it to me. The History of Norway. It's fascinating. Anyway, here's Vigeland.
Very good picture, Jeff. You get a nice perspective on the Vigeland sculptures. Good work.
Yeah. And here's the most famous one.
Yeah.
So the people, the younger are at top, I guess. Older people at the bottom. Here's the ski slope, the ski jump rather, north of Oslo. Stave Church near Oslo. Another Stave Church.
Uh-huh.
That's the inside.
This is great. This is the great big one at Hedal.
Yes. And this is a smaller one. I think this was the second or third one that we saw. Or maybe it was, I don't remember. Vmort. And the turbines inside. I thought this was fascinating seeing these things. They're huge.
Yes. Big.
Huge bushings and big generators. I like the grass huts. This is how do you pronounce this, Myrna? It's
Stavanger.
it's Stavanger, but what is the name of the fjord where they had the battle? It's Hartsfjord.
Hafrsfjord.
Hafrsfjord. And there.
The Dalen Hotel. Frederica, you remember this one?
Or Nancy. There.
Did you saw the ghost?
We heard about it.
No, we didn't. Stave Church. Inside, everybody was very attentive and pious. Just some detail on the church. This was in the same grounds that this church was on. I took a walk in the back. They had a big shed and they were trying to reconstruct, some guys there, they let me in and walked around this. They're trying to reconstruct the old construction techniques from the 12th century. And so this was in progress, but you can see how they put together the logs. But I
Enough.
looked at the joints, they're really pretty good. This is all done by hand. It's not machined. I guess they do use modern um, pulleys and clips to.
Where was this, Jeff?
This was at the same location as this.
Oh, done.
Okay.
Yeah. And then inside the Dolan Hotel. I'm sorry, these aren't in order.
Mm-hmm.
94. And this is the backside of the Dolan Hotel. And
Oh.
then I always find Norwegian roads fascinating because you'd never find a grade like this in the Western US.
It's between Setesdal and
Yeah. Yeah. But they're very narrow and very steep, which to me indicates there isn't a lot of snow. But interesting nonetheless. And then Gilia and the river in front of Gilia. And then from the genealogy book, you can see the little window there where my cursor is, and here's the same house. To me, and Joe, this geology is fascinating.
a couple of Norwegians there that we just took pictures of.
Yeah. Nice weather, I see.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was good. Here's in the cabin where we had the
Where we had the Rumagrit.
Yep.
Yeah. Daniel just was marvelous.
Yeah. Here's the Glopahallen, where the festival was. That was neat. That was a lot of fun. It was pretty well attended. And here's the Gilia factory. My father had a woodworking shop. I found this fascinating, these quarter sawn timber that they had. Very nicely done, very nicely laid out. More on the factory. And then on to Stavanger in the old section. And then the Stavanger Cathedral. Yeah, see, we even got our own call out here, our own shout out. Please contact us inside. It's a beautiful church. And this guy, I think, is getting weary from holding up the
Cathedral.
Yeah. And then the retired pastor, our bishop, I guess.
Georg Tumir and Lena.
Yeah, Lena. Yeah. And here's Hartsfjord. Picture of Dawn on the cruise we took in the Lights of Fjord. There's that waterfall. Joe, this is down below. Well, you were above. This is what we were doing. And there's Precastolen there. So you were way up here. We were 600 meters below at the water level. There's a close-up of it. It's quite a piece of rock. Look at that, how it tilts back. And waterfall along the fjord. This is the fish ladder, the salmon fish ladder. Gosh, I'm forgetting where that was.
Done.
Yeah.
So done.
And then inside the traffic circle inside the mountain that exits to the bridge. This bridge. And then on the train, the Flom, I think, going down, a few on our tour. And actually, let me see if I can find the waterfall picture first.
Ha, ha, ha. The mysterious woman,
Yeah,
mythological lady.
let me see. I've got a few more here. Yeah.
Is that a troll?
Well, she was a dancer. She danced for us.
Think we call it Hulder.
This was Kjofossen. There's the falls, and there she is, and
Ha, ha, ha.
that's a close-up of her.
Good photo there, Jeff. She was luring you. She was.
Oh,
Ha, ha.
and this is the funicular in front of it. Here's the funicular going up. That's what I have. So, oh, I've got one more. Show you this. We didn't do this, Christina. We just watched.
I say, is that Joe?
So that's it. That's what I've got.
Nice addition, Jeff.
So it's a great trip. A lot of fun.
You saw a lot on Norway.
Yeah. What else, Paul? What else should we talk about? Or we can get into the business end of the meeting.
Anybody else have some more to share?
Okay.
I'm at a remote location. Couldn't figure out how to get it under my iPad. Do you have more, Jeff?
No, that's it. That's all I've got. We can get into the business part of the meeting unless anybody else wants to.
Do some of you have other suggestions, stuff?
On the trip?
I'd like to just add some commentary on a few very surprising but really special times. We saw the picture of the Stavanger Cathedral, and we saw the pastors and his daughter-in-law, who were the two speakers. What we didn't see was the pastor's wife, Bodil. She's a great singer. And just as he was starting his presentation, we hear this beautiful music being sung a cappella as Bodil walks the aisle from the back of the church towards the middle where we were seating. And it was a very moving time, like she was adding a spiritual dimension to the presentation. I thought it was just an exceptional moment in that day's trip.
Mhm.
And it reminded me of a couple of other things. One was on September 7th, when we were visiting with Halvard and Celia Orset at their backyard party. Halvard's father, Helga, stood before us and gave a very moving testimony with scripture and with commentary about his wife that was so special, because she is deceased, but Halvard or Helga wanted to draw attention to the contribution she made. And again, that was not requested. He just did it on his own. A very wonderful time. Then a
It was.
third one was one that only Frederica and I were able to see. One of our relatives that lives in Oslo is has lost her foot, her leg to cancer, and she is a teacher, a music teacher in Oslo.
Yeah.
And at her home that night, we didn't know this was going to happen. She sits down to the piano unannounced, just as we're about to eat dinner, and starts to play and does play a Grieg waltz for the benefit of the rest of us. Again, not requested, just doing it on her own. We could hardly believe that she was adding a memorable moment to what was very wonderful. And then
Yes. Yeah.
finally, something that was for Frederica and me, and I'm sorry about that, although some of you were also witnessing that, when we were in Sand that last Sunday, and I was going to meet a distant cousin of mine. She walked down the street towards where we were, dressed in her bunad, and her daughter was also dressed in her bunad, adding a very special element to the time with them. So those things really, really were very moving to us all. And of course, then finally, the Bureau Holland concert in the Glapedal Holland was very, very wonderful. That Arne and his brother Daniel would have put that on for the rest of us. A marvelous addition to the whole trip.
That was good. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
All right, more pictures?
I don't have any, Jeff. I just appreciate it, what everybody said, Joe, and your pictures. And then Paul, your comments, I would just echo that they were very special and added to all of the connections we had, the places that we went, and especially those that had to do with our relatives were highlights for me.
I really appreciated this trip as well. It connected me with some family members that I did not know, and we plan to stay in contact with them. Definitely that was the highlight, but also seeing all the history in Norway. This was our first trip to Norway, and we just loved the landscape. The weather was beautiful. I mean, even the rains that we had, they weren't like rain out days or anything, but I just really appreciated everything. And I just want to again thank Paul for his work in spearheading this and getting this going for us. It will be a trip that I will remember for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
All right. Shall we go on to the business portion of,
Want to go on to another business? The other one?
to the second meeting?
Okay, I'm going to stop this recording.
Okay. I guess I'm still sharing.